everyone. Good evening. I am Nisha Singh, a student of Law Center 1, Delhi University. Today, my topic of discussion is the restitution of conjugal rights. Restitution of conjugal right is a positive relief available for those married couples whose marriage has taken unwanted turn in life due to any reason. The purpose is to save the marriage with the help of court, if possible. So let's proceed with the literal meaning of the restitution of conjugal rights. Restitution means to restore to the former state or position. In other words, making the situation as before. And the conjugal rights means matrimonial rights, which include enjoyment of association, sympathy, confidence, comforts of dwelling together, intimacy of domestic relations, etc. As we are all aware that social organization in a society is constituted on the basis of marriage. That is, it is considered as one of the strongest pillars for the existence of a family and survival of the race. Just like any other relationship, marriage also has its own flaws and imperfections. There are times when there are these disagreements between the husband and the wife, and many a times such a discord may reach to an extent where the partners do not wish to stay together any longer. However, ending a relationship of the highest level is not a solution. Therefore, law provides with various matrimonial remedies to the married couples to bring them at peace and save the sacred institution of marriage. And restitution of conjugal rights is one among such remedies. Talking about the brief history and origin of restitution of conjugal rights, it finds its origin from the Jewish law. This remedy was adopted into Indian legislature neither from the Dharma Shastra nor from any other personal law in Indian subcontinent, but through the English common law of the British Raj. It was applied in India by the Privy Council for the first time in 1866, and through the means of judicial interpretations and legislative actions, it found its way into Hindu Marriage Act 1955, Special Marriage Act 1954, Parsi Marriage and Divorce Act 1954, Divorce Act 1869, and Muslim personal laws. Now coming to Section 9 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, it states that when either the husband or the wife has, without any reasonable excuse, withdrawn from the society of the other, the aggrieved party may apply by petition to the district court for restitution of conjugal rights, and the court, on being satisfied of the truth of the statements made in such petition and that there is no legal ground why the application should not be granted, may decree restitution of conjugal rights accordingly. The explanation provided in Section 9 states that where a question arises whether there has been reasonable excuse for withdrawal from the society, the burden of proving reasonable excuse shall be on the person who has withdrawn from the society. Now let's understand it in a little more detail, starting with the prerequisites of Section 9. First condition needed for availing this relief is that there is a voluntary withdrawal of society by respondent from the petitioner. Withdrawal from the society involves refusal to stay together, refusal to give comfort to each other, refusal to have marital intercourse, in short, not living together as husband and wife. Next is the most important requirement for getting this decree, that is, the withdrawal by the respondent party is without any reasonable excuse. It is not defined anywhere in the Act that what could be the reasonable excuse and what not. It is the court's judicial prudence that decides what could be the reasonable ground. So some of the grounds which the court considered to be reasonable excuses in different cases are physical and mental cruelty, impotency, adultery, concubine relationship, living with another wife, and etc. Next condition is that the court is satisfied that the statements made in the petition are true. The petitioners must have bona fide desire to resume cohabitation, and he or she is not faking it for any other ulterior motive. Next is, there is no legal ground for refusing the grant of application. If the petitioner wants to use the decree as a stepping stone for divorce in the long run, the court may refuse to grant this decree because the object of the petitioner is not to restore living together. Where the court finds that the mind of the petitioner is stuffed more with the idea of divorce than regaining comfort consortium, then the court may refuse this relief as well. Apart from these things, if there is no any legal ground for refusal of application, then court will give the decree of restitution of conjugal rights. Now, the burden of proof. The explanation added to section 9 tells that primarily the petitioner has the burden of proof that the respondent has left him. When the petitioner successfully establishes it, the burden shifts to the respondent to prove that there is a reasonable ground to support as to why the respondent went away from the petitioner's society. Next is where to complaint on this. In the civil court in whose jurisdiction the party's marriage was performed, the husband and wife stayed together, or where the last stayed. Next is effect of non-compliance of decree of restitution. Order 21, Rule 32 of Civil Procedure Code deals with execution of decree passed for restitution of conjugal rights. If the party against whom the decree is passed willfully disobeys it, the decree may be enforced by the attachment of his property. If the party does not obey even after the attachment of property, the decree can be used as a device to obtain divorce. Moving forward, some landmark cases related with this provision. First is Shanti Nigam versus Ramesh Chandra, AIR 1971, Allahabad High Court. In this case, the court held that mere refusal to quit the job at the instance of the husband is not a ground to order restitution, where the wife has no intention of denying to the husband her society and company. Next case, Swaraj Garg versus KM Garg, AIR 1978, Delhi High Court. In this, the court held that if the principle of Hindu law was held to give the exclusive right to the husband to decide upon the place of the matrimonial home without considering the merits of the claim of the wife, it would violate Article 14 of the Constitution. When the husband and wife are gainfully employed at different places, even before the marriage, and the wife is earning more than the husband, there are sufficient reason for the wife to stay separately, and hence the petition for restitution of conjugal rights by the husband must fail. Next is Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan Kumar, AIR 1984, Supreme Court case. In this, the Supreme Court held the law with regard to the constitutionality of Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act. The court observed that in India, conjugal rights are not merely creature of statute, rather it is inherent in the very institution of the marriage itself. Section 9 is only a codification of the pre-existing law. There are sufficient safeguards like the provision of reasonable excuse in the section itself to prevent it from being a tyranny. The remedy gives the husband and the wife an opportunity to settle up the matter amicably and live together. Now, who can file for restitution of conjugal rights? Any spouse who has been deserted and is aggrieved can file for it. During this period, that is decree of restitution of conjugal rights, whether the wife can ask for maintenance or not. Yes, under Section 25 of Hindu Marriage Act, the wife can very well ask for the maintenance. Moving forward to constitutional validity of Section 9. This remedy in the earlier times has been challenged in many instances. The first challenge to this prejudicial law came from Rukhma Bai, a physicist who refused to cohabit with a man she was married to in her childhood. The Andhra Pradesh High Court in the case T. Sharitha versus Venkata Subbiah case said that this remedy is unconstitutional as it violates Article 14 as well as Article 21 of the Constitution. However, in the case Harvinder Kaur versus Harminder Kaur, the Delhi High Court held that The view of Andhra Pradesh government in T. Sarita case was too narrow and it didn't apply and it didn't take into account the provision of Section 30. The contradictory decisions of the two cases led to the landmark case of Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan Kumar, the case which right now I discussed, in which SC upheld the decision of the High Court, Delhi High Court, and validated the constitutionality of Section 9. So moving to the recent scenario, however, despite the decision of the Supreme Court in this Saroj Rani versus Sudarshan Kumar case, even there are many judgments which came after that, and they contended that it is violative of Section 21, that is right to privacy. A report by the High-Level Committee on Status of Women, which is governed by Ministry of Women and Child Development, it came in 2015, which held that the restitution of conjugal rights has no relevance in the independent India, and the existing matrimonial laws already recognize the denial of the consummation as a ground of divorce. The Law Commission of India, in its conciliation paper on reform of family law issued on 31st August 2018, also recommended that Section 9 of Hindu Marriage Act should be removed as it is violative of constitutional provisions. So in marriage, many times things don't work out as thought, and the parties find disagreements and quarrels between them, making them decide to go for divorce. When one of the spouses feels that there was nothing wrong but just some silly matters, that spouse files an application for RCR in order to take a fresh start. The aid of restitution of conjugal rights necessitates both the parties to live together and cohabit. This is a highly debatable subject. Some feel it is to preserve the marriage, while some say that there is no meaning in forcing the other party to stay with the aggrieved party as they are not at all interested. Saying so, it has its own advantage and disadvantage depending upon the intention of the party while using it. To sum up, just want to quote a line, that is, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. That's all. Thank you.